My sister-in-law gave everyone gifts except me. I took everything away from her. My sister-in-law Rachel had been deliberately excluding me from gift exchanges for 7 years since I married her brother Kevin, and she made it obvious every single time. At Christmas, she'd hand out beautifully wrapped packages to Kevin's parents, his other siblings, their spouses, every cousin, every child, even the neighbor who watered their plants. But when it came to me, she'd look right through me like I didn't exist. She'd say she ran out of time or money or ideas, but then pull out an extra gift for someone who stopped by unexpectedly. At her birthday party, she'd thank everyone for their presents individually except mine, which she'd leave unopened in the corner. At family white elephant exchanges, she'd bring exactly enough gifts for everyone minus one and pretend she miscounted when I sat there empty-handed. Kevin said Rachel was just forgetful, but Rachel remembered every birthday, anniversary, and pet adoption date for 37 other family members. She had a color-coded calendar with everyone's preferences and sizes and wish lists except for mine because I apparently didn't exist in her world. His parents, George and Marie, would awkwardly try to share their gifts with me while Rachel watched smirking. Other family members started bringing extra generic gifts, assuming Rachel would forget me again, which she always did. The worst was our wedding, where Rachel gave Kevin an envelope with $5,000 for his future and told everyone at the microphone that this was for her brother only, specifically not for me, because blood family needed to look out for each other. She made eye contact with me while saying it to make sure I understood I would never be family. Last Christmas was when Rachel really showed her cruelty. She'd organized Secret Santa for the whole family with a $100 limit. Everyone got assignments, except somehow my name wasn't in the hat. Rachel said she must have forgotten to write it down, but everyone else was already matched, so I could just watch everyone else open gifts. She gave Kevin a watch worth $300 in front of me and said real siblings didn't need spending limits. She gave his mother designer perfume and his father golf clubs and his cousin's baby a savings bond. But when 5-year-old Timmy asked why Aunt didn't get anything, Rachel said sometimes people don't deserve presents. A child asked why I didn't deserve presents, and Rachel just shrugged, saying not everyone can be special. I spent that entire Christmas watching 40 people open gifts while sitting there like furniture Rachel had to walk around. That's when I learned something interesting about Rachel's situation. She'd been living off her grandmother Dorothy's promise of inheritance for years, running up credit cards and taking loans because Dorothy was 93 and worth $2 million. Rachel was the only grandchild who visited regularly, and Dorothy had told everyone Rachel would get everything for being such a devoted granddaughter. Rachel had already spent probably $300,000 she didn't have yet on a house and cars and jewelry, assuming Dorothy would die soon. What Rachel didn't know was that Dorothy had been talking to me at every family gathering, while Rachel was busy ignoring my existence. Dorothy would sit next to me during gift exchanges and pat my hand while watching Rachel exclude me. Dorothy asked me once why Rachel was so cruel, and I just said some people show their true character through small actions. Dorothy started requesting I visit her without telling Rachel. We'd have tea and talk about her travels and her late husband and how disappointed she was and how materialistic Rachel had become. Dorothy said Rachel only visited to ask about the will and check if Dorothy was still healthy enough to live alone. Dorothy said Rachel had been measuring her house for renovations while Dorothy was still living in it. One day, Dorothy asked me to drive her to her lawyer's office for a routine update to her will. She didn't tell anyone else about this appointment. A month later, Dorothy passed peacefully in her sleep at 94. Rachel immediately started planning what to do with her inheritance. She quit her job the day after the funeral, saying she'd never have to work again. She listed her current house for sale and put an offer on a mansion. She traded in her car for a luxury SUV she couldn't actually afford yet. She threw a party to celebrate Dorothy's life, which was really to celebrate her own windfall. At the will reading, Rachel showed up in a new designer outfit she'd bought on credit. She brought a notebook to write down account numbers and property addresses. She'd already contacted contractors about renovating Dorothy's house. She sat in the front row with a huge smile while the lawyer started reading. The lawyer announced Dorothy had left her entire estate to various charities and family members who'd shown genuine kindness without expecting rewards. Kevin got $50,000 for being a good nephew. His parents got the vacation home. His cousins got trust funds for their children. I got Dorothy's jewelry collection worth $400,000 because Dorothy said I was the only one who treated her like a grandmother instead of a bank. Rachel got Dorothy's collection of refrigerator magnets from different states because Dorothy said Rachel needed to remember there were more important things than money. Rachel screamed that I'd manipulated Dorothy and stolen her inheritance. Full story on channel. Link below.